Okay, good day everyone. So today we're going to talk about research or qualitative research and its importance in our daily life. So for this lesson, these are our objectives. So first, we're going to define qualitative research, and then we're going to identify the importance of it in our daily life or our daily lives. Third, we're going to understand or discuss the purpose of qualitative research and distinguish the difference between quantitative and qualitative research. And lastly, we're going to differentiate open-ended and closed-ended questions. So these are our goals for this lesson. So let's start the discussion with the definition of a qualitative research. So when we say qualitative research, it is a scientific method of observation to gather non-numerical data. So meaning in this kind of research, we will not be dealing with numbers, or we will not be encountering numbers. We will not gather numerical data. So what we need in this kind of research are meanings, concepts, characteristics, comparison and contrast, definition of symbols, and description of a certain phenomena. So in here, we are not going to count or measure something. Okay? Also, the nature of qualitative research. So one of its characteristic is that it is a process of naturalistic inquiry that seeks in-depth understanding of social phenomena within their natural settings. So, meaning, um, we will be talking to our respondents. Okay, we will be asking them questions about the problem that we are discussing or studying. And also, qualitative research relies on the direct experiences of human beings as meaning making agents in their everyday lives. So we will be gathering information based on the experiences of our respondents. We will be getting definition based on how they look at things, based on how they see a certain problem. Okay. Also, qualitative research seeks to answer uh, the questions or these type of questions. Ayan, examples are why, in what ways, what, and how of a certain phenomena. So meaning you're going, if you will be formulating questions for your interview, you will be starting your questions with these words or phrases, as opposed to the following, like to what extent is there a significant difference or relationship, and how many of a certain phenomena. So meaning we will not be using those kind of phrases when we are making our questions for our interview. So qualitative analysis calculates meaning. So we are looking for definition, description, characteristics of something, while quantitative analysis calculates mean or average of a certain problem or as of a certain degree or measurement. Okay, so those are the difference between qualitative and quantitative analysis. In addition, rather than logical or statistical procedures, so instead of using this kind of procedures or processes, qualitative research uses multiple systems of inquiry for the study of human phenomena. So we will be using different types of um, asking questions like interview and so on and so forth. So we may conduct the different types of qualitative research just like biography, case study, historical analysis, discourse analysis, ethnography, grounded theory, and phenomenology. So maybe when we are doing our research, you're going to choose from these kinds of qualitative research. Okay? So the purpose or the main purpose of qualitative research is to promote a deep, holistic understanding of a particular phenomenon. So when we will be getting information from our respondents, we will be able to understand the different perspective of a certain problem or situation. So these are the importance of qualitative research in daily life. So first, qualitative research unveils individuals' perception, feelings, and attitudes. So in here, we're going to see how people or how a person look at things or how he perceives a specific situation or how he reacts on a specific problem or phenomenon. Second, information is precise and reliable since it promotes collaboration of the researcher and the members of community or of the community. So in here, the data that we will be gathering is or the sources of our information will be reliable since the information came from the person who experienced that specific problem or situation. So there's uh, how do you call this in Filipino? Ayan, wala nang mas magiging reliable pa doon sa taong mismong naka-experience ng isang situation. Okay, wala nang mas magiging credible pa doon sa tao na yon. So that first-hand information will be the most valid information that we can get. Third, qualitative research stimulates people's interdependence and interpersonal relationships. So through qualitative research, we could see that there is an existing communication among our respondents because you're going to discover that um, they already have uh, same answer to a certain question. So through it, we could say that they already have this shared understanding, meaning they experience communication or connection or relationship maybe in the past or sometime before you uh, conducted the interview. Fourth, qualitative research puts premium or high value on people's thinking or point of view. So again, our main sources of or the main source of information in a qualitative research is interview. So we will be prioritizing the perspective of our respondents. We're going to prioritize their point of view on a certain topic or a certain situation. Fifth, qualitative research gains an in-depth understanding of underlying reasons, opinions, and motivation. So through qualitative research, we could uh, we could see or we could know the reason behind the action or the behavior of a certain person. So we could somehow trace the origin of this specific action, what would be the reason behind this specific theory, or what will be the reason behind this specific problem. So we could trace it using qualitative research. And then lastly, qualitative research allows the researcher to immerse in the community where the participants live. So since we really need to conduct interview so that we could gather information from our respondents. So we need to go to their places. We need to immerse ourselves to their culture, to their situation so that we could understand them. So while interviewing them, while asking them questions, you could also observe while you were there on their place or on their location. So those were the importance of qualitative research in our daily lives. So the next part of the lesson will be the differences of quantitative and qualitative research. So the first one will be their aim or the processes involved in this kind of research. So quantitative research aims to characterize trends and patterns among our respondents. So who among them do a certain kind of action, okay, what will be uh, a trending topic or a trending issue among these respondents, while qualitative research involves processes, feelings, and motives and produces in-depth and holistic data. Since we're going to ask questions like whys and hows to our respondents, we could analyze a certain situation holistically or in a deep analyzation or analysis. In quantitative research, it usually starts with neither a theory nor hypothesis about the relationship between two or more variables. So we really need to what do you call this? We really need to um, see, we really need to analyze if there is an existing relationship between these two or more variables. On the other hand, in qualitative research, we're going to generate the hypothesis from the data gathered than testing hypothesis. So in qualitative research, we will not be testing the hypothesis that we've formed. Okay? We're going to generate hypothesis in qualitative research, and that hypothesis will be tested on a quantitative research. Next is with the use of structure or instrument, rather. So in quantitative research, it uses structured instrument. So it uses questionnaires and it follows a certain schedule. On the other hand, qualitative research uses either structured or unstructured or semi-structured instrument. So meaning in qualitative research, we are more flexible when it comes to the instrument that we will be using. When it comes to population or respondent in quantitative research, uh, we really need to have a lot of respondents since we are analyzing if there is a significant relationship between our variables. So we could somehow defend it by um, surveying or by having a large number of respondents. While in qualitative research, we just need few respondents, okay? Or we only need a small sample size for this kind of research. Okay, so next will be uh, when it comes to replicability and validity, quantitative research has a high output replicability. So meaning you could repeatedly do this kind of research. You could replicate it in so many ways. While in qualitative research, it has a high validity since most of the information that we will gather are first-hand information and they were current, okay, or these information are updated. And then next will be when it comes to our respondents in quantitative research, we're going to understand group similarities. Okay, while in qualitative research, we will be discovering or understanding individual differences. In quantitative research, again, it uses structured processes. It follows a certain schedule or it strictly follows the steps of conducting research, while in qualitative research, you can somehow personalized or you could adjust the process. It uses a more flexible process. When it comes to the methods used in quantitative research, it uses census, survey, experiments, and secondary analysis or review of related literature. While in qualitative research, it uses or it includes field research, case study, and also secondary analysis or review of related literature. So those are their similarities or and differences. So next we will be moving on with the difference between open-ended question and closed-ended question. In open-ended question, your participant are free to answer in whatever way they want to answer. So their responses will not be limited to a certain number of options. So they could answer the question in whatever way they want to. Okay, so guide questions and focus group questions are examples of open-ended questions. So open-ended questions are used in qualitative research. So here's an example of an open-ended question. Okay, so we have here two questions. So what were your experiences during the consecutive strikes of powerful typhoon in Bicol? So basically, the answer of our respondents will be dependent on their experiences. Experiences. It will differ from one another. Okay, and then close-ended questions. So in this kind of questions, our respondents could only answer um, these questions by selecting from the choices uh, that we gave them. Okay, so example of these questions are multiple choice questions or multiple choices questions, yes or no questions, and also rating scale. Okay, so close-ended question or questions are used in quantitative research. So here's an example of a closed-ended question. And also here's one. Okay, so that's all for this lesson. So if you have question, you could raise it on our GC and I'm willing to answer those questions.